the minutes of the last meeting, which was in May, show that the board members, all 5 of them, signed a resolution of commendation of Fain Ceasar, commending him for his service and his devotion to duty in this department. Today at this meeting, I assume that you people talked about this and you let it ride right on through. And was there any action taken whatsoever on this resolution?
There was not, but the date mentioned is incorrect. This resolution was passed on the morning of April 14th.
On the morning of April 14th?
Yes, sir.
That was when Fain Ceasar resigned?
Yes.
But it has been through 2 meetings without being changed, correct?
That's right, because the resolution specified only that he was commended for his 23 years of service to this department, for his service to agriculture and to the marketing division.
Now, does the board intend to just let this commendation stand as it is?
I do not know what the board plans to do. I work for them, and this was an action of the board.
Well, you are a member of the board.
Yes, that's right. This, however, is no more than a common policy. When the board was not satisfied with Mr. Ceasar, or they wouldn't have asked him to resign, but they were attentive to the fact, of course, and appreciated the fact that he'd been here for 23 years and had, throughout the majority of that time, been a good servant. The board, no more than myself, condones wrongdoing in a man, and they have not condoned this, I think, as attested to by the fact that he was asked to resign. But they felt that it was more or less a policy of this department to commend anybody who'd been a servant of the state for as long as 23 years and throughout most of that time had been a good employee.
Well, as far as you know, this resolution will stand in the records.
As far as I know, and unless the board determines otherwise.
I want to call to your attention, of course, the building needs that have been presented to us, and the continuing investigation will have to be made to justify the many buildings that will be needed on all our institutions. But I think probably the most important recommendation that our council has to make today is that it is time in the state of Oklahoma when we decide to provide the greatest economy, efficiency, and education possible in the state of Oklahoma. And it's also time that some serious thought be given to the long-range financial support for our institutions. Now, we do not contemplate the earmarking of funds, but it is an urgent recommendation that we give careful planning, priority determinations, and tentative agreements to finance our college on more than a 2-year basis. Thank you.
Mr. Borelli, in layman's terms, just what is this amendment?
Well, this is a constitutional amendment which it authorizes 2 or more towns or cities in this state to go together to pledge their revenues after an election by which they can build water facilities, contract with each other for the sale or the development of their water so that they might be able to go together as a unit and be able to do certain things pertaining to water, where they can build these reservoirs, protect their cities, have enough water to avail themselves for the future together as a joint project.
Now, why is this needed?
Our Constitution provides that only an individual, town or city, can pledge its revenue or vote bonds for any of its development, pertaining especially to water development, that they cannot do it jointly with any other town. They can make contracts with other towns for the purchase of water, but that is only good for 1 year. This way, if this amendment to this Constitution is voted upon by the people, then these towns or cities that want to join together, if they, after an election by those citizens of these towns, authorize themselves, they can join jointly, create some sort of a partnership, pledging the revenues that they will assume from this water development to better protect themselves, to go together for the beneficial use of themselves pertaining to water.
My husband usually teased me a lot with his handkerchief, and we know she didn't like it, so I kept telling her to tell him not to hit her mama. And that's when we first noticed it, just about a year ago.
Does she say anything else?
No, that's all she says. Other than that, she's just a dog.
Just a dog. Then she has no other unusual personality characteristics. I noticed that the dog is not a full-blood dog. What is it?
Well, she's part Cocker and part Manchester. Don't hit my mama. Now that was pretty clean.
Don't hit my mama.
Was that snore? Don't hit my mama. Look. Don't hit my mama. Don't hit my mama. Don't hit my mama.
Don't hit my mama.
The main object is that we feel that the certificate holders of selected investments, out of the 10,000 of them, that there's enough ability, executive and otherwise, that plans can be formulated from the certificate holders themselves, because you see, our money is in selected investments, and we feel that we ought to have something to say about selected investments and its reorganization.
Well, why aren't you content just to leave this in the hands of the trustees, sir?
We feel that through the trusteeship, that eventually it will dwindle down and dwindle down until finally we won't have anything left. What I mean is that it's going exceedingly slow, and the trustee has told me personally that it would take a long, long time to untangle all of the things that selected investment is in.
The letter that you mailed out mentioned something about a tentative plan concerning a merger with either one or two companies. Would you care to elaborate on that, sir?
It is only a thought that we have, and we would pursue it further if the certificate holders wanted us to. That's the sole purpose of that. We have no oil company personally to forced off or give to any certificate holder. There's no personal desire in any nature of that kind.
Now, the judge commented, and this is a quote, when he told you to stop mailing these letters, he said that it is, quote, an attempt to dissatisfy the stockholders and sell them an oil company for their investment. What do you say?
No, sir. We're not trying to sell the certificate holders any oil company at all.